Hello, my name is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Alrighty then. Hey guys, it's ENOS-GAMING, and today we're going to be talking about what could have been possibly Jim Carrey's strangest movie. Now, I know that says a lot because Jim Carrey is a pretty strange guy and does a lot of weird movies, and has probably one of the weirdest actors out there. However, this movie would have been probably Jim Carrey's most mature, probably would have had an R rating. I'm not too sure. There's only very little known about this movie. The movie would have been about the Illuminati. Now, would have Jim Carrey played the Illuminati? No. He would have played a character that's been in a lot of pop culture references. He's in almost every movie out there, and you don't even realize it. He plays a major part within today's world, and nobody realizes he's there. He's in the corner of everyone's eyes in movies, and you don't notice. He finds a way to slip into your home and steal your most valuable items. He'll leave a calling card behind, and there's an inspector that chases him everywhere he goes. Of course, I am talking about the world's greatest thief, Lupin the Third. Jim Carrey would have played Lupin the Third in a 90s movie that would have been made here in the US. Now, the reason the movie wasn't made was because TMS pulled the rights to the movie pretty early on in its production. However, the only thing known about this really is that Jim Carrey would have played Lupin the Third. Now, I do know the script is out there. I don't know much about the script. I really don't know too much about any of this. All I know is Jim Carrey was the only confirmed actor they were eyeballing for Lupin the Third, and none of the other characters were casted. Now, what could have this movie have been? So we already know that the Illuminati would have been a major thing in this movie. What I think could have happened was the movie would have started off like this. The Illuminati and their plans. We see the horrible things they're doing, and then all of a sudden the movie cuts to Inspector Zenigata chasing Lupin the Third, aka Jim Carrey. We would have seen Lupin escape, meet back with Jigen with what he just has stolen, and explains to Jigen that he finds out this thing is more valuable than what they realized, and it might be play a major part in something big. So Lupin and Jigen want to figure out what are they dealing with. And then because Lupin is Lupin, he has to tell Fujiko, and then she wants in on it because she wants to steal that score. Comes in and helps them. And of course, it wouldn't be a Lupin the Third movie without some major obstacle in their way and Goemon to show up and cut it down. So Goemon would have played a part like that. Now, do I think Zenigata would have played a big part in it? I think Zenigata would have had a... Oh, sorry guys. I think Zenigata would have played more of a role like he did in the movie Lupin the Third the First. He was there in the beginning to arrest Lupin, and then we see Lupin escape. Lupin calls Zenigata to turn himself in. Zenigata shows up, and then we see Lupin stealing the helicopter, and then Lupin ends up tying up Zenigata, and then Zenigata is forced into helping Lupin. I think it would have been something similar to that, not exactly to that extent, but I do think, like I said in the movie, we would have seen the beginning of Zenigata chasing Lupin, Lupin escaping. Later down the line, it would have maybe been something like this. Zenigata is in the same area Lupin is in, tracking him down. Has got some anonymous tips that Lupin is in the area, so he shows up to arrest him. Spots Lupin and the gang, all entering like maybe some ancient temple that the Illuminati is in, or some type of building the Illuminati has, been secretly working in. And then he sees everything the Illuminati is doing, and Zenigata sits there with a sense of duty and a sense of justice, says, no, I must help Lupin this one time into stopping the Illuminati. And once they're stopped, I will arrest Lupin. I think it would have been something like that. Now, the reason I say this is Jim Carrey's strangest movie is it's just not something I could see Jim Carrey doing. I love Jim Carrey, I trust Jim Carrey, but I don't know, I just never really would have thought of him as Lupin the Third. Not to say this movie would have been bad. I have heard fans say it might have been a cult classic, which who knows, it might have actually been a cult classic. Who knows, it really might have. But personally, I don't really know where I stand on this being a good movie. I really don't. I would have watched it because I love Jim Carrey and I love Lupin. The story might have been good. There might have been a lot of mature stuff because we all know the whole sexual side of Lupin, how obsessed he is with women, and we also know the chaotic side of Lupin. But if they're going more based on the Part 3 version of Lupin, Pink Jacket, then maybe I can see Jim Carrey playing that, because they said they wanted Jim Carrey because of his cartoonish acting style. it fits Jim Carrey. Now here's the thing. It does. But I don't know. I really can't see him doing that unless they went based on the Part 3 version. Or the manga version, which is the more chaotic, psychopathic, serial killer type version of Lupin. If they were to went based on maybe those two, or if the movie would have been more based on the mystery of Momo, then maybe I could see Jim Carrey playing a more mature version of Lupin like that. However, I don't really see Jim Carrey playing Lupin. But like I said, this movie could have been a cult classic. This movie could have been the greatest movie ever made of Lupin the Third. Who knows? Who knows? It could have been the worst movie ever made. It could have been the best movie ever made. It could have beat the 2014 live-action movie. It could have beat the 1974 live-action movie, which honestly I do think the 2014 movie beat that, even though I hated the 2014 movie. But who knows? I definitely think it could have been better than the 2014 movie. But I don't know. I just find it weird that Jim Carrey was who they wanted to pick as Lupin. However, that's really all I have to say for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully soon I can start doing gaming videos. I know I haven't been able to do it recently. There's just been a lot of stuff going on in my life. No, I'm not disappeared. I never disappeared. I just got some stuff going on to where I haven't been able to do gaming related stuff. I haven't even been able to play games at all. I just thought this would be a fun video to make for you guys today. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let me know what you think this movie could have been, if you think it could have been the greatest Lupin the Third movie, or if it could have been the worst Lupin the Third movie, if it could have been Jim Carrey's greatest movie or Jim Carrey's worst movie. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.